आर्ट का क्वालिटी होता है कि वो अपसेट करता है लोगों को एंड प्रोवोक करता है, तो फिर फिल्म करना बंद कर देना चाहिए। अगर मॉरलिटी आता है तो कार्टून शोज करना चाहिए। एक आदमी बोल रहा है माइक पे कि तुम लोग एनिमल मत देखो, ये पागल पिक्चर है। At least I'll root for him. I'll go and shake hand.
Do you also find it a bit interesting that a few of these people who tend to have certain opinions, they're also struggling actors or maybe directors or maybe they're related to filmmakers?
Anupama Chopra was messaging me constantly that she wants an interview. And she messaged me the 2 दिन release से पहले तक. And after the release, like, you see a different color. Rajeev Masand called me after he criticized my film, after I said that, whatever I said in Anupama Chopra's interview. He called me and said, like, Mr. Vanga, I would like you to join the round table. I said, like, dude, you never liked my film, you hated my film, and you hated my guts.
Anil Kapoor sir told me that he thinks Ranbir Kapoor is tall Raj Kapoor.
The way you want me to look in the note scene, I think we need 15 days more. Hi, this is Sandeep Reddy Vanga. You are watching Connect FM Canada with Faridoon.
Animal has had an extraordinary response, but more importantly, it's a film made by a courageous director, a director who believes in himself. And as Mr. Ranbir Verma told me recently, that here's a director who is not afraid to be judged. And it rarely happens that a director becomes a superstar and he's being mobbed wherever he goes. And it's a huge privilege to have Sandeep Reddy with us right now on Connect FM Canada. Sandeep, thank you very much for your time and pleasure having you with us.
Thank you for having me here. Thank you for them. Thank you.
If we can start with what Mr. Ranbir Verma told me, that here's a filmmaker who's not afraid to be judged.
Yeah.
Do you think that it's one of the finest compliments that you've received?
Yes, of course. Because he always came to rescue me like a big brother without even calling him or without even asking for it, During Arjun Reddy, even now during Animal. So, yeah, I want to meet him soon. I was traveling a lot, so I called him and I said, sir, I want to meet you and talk to you, not on the phone. So I'm going to meet him soon.
Right. Massive success for the film. I think almost all of us, we knew that it will be a huge success, but people have seen it like 11 times, 12 times, and they're going back again. Do you think that maybe the success of the film has exceeded your expectations?
To be frank, I didn't aim at the box office while we were doing it, because I always felt a story like this to be told and just to see the excitement in the audience when this kind of a story comes into the theatre. But throughout the process of the film, I guessed this kind of a number. Because even when I was talking to Ranbir and my producers, but it went a little beyond than my expectations. But I guess somewhere around 600 to 700. But now it is 900 plus. So yeah, quite excited to see where it's going to,
Right.
And I mean the final number. See, number is again the audience, in the footfalls. Not money. I mean, the excitement of seeing the number is the excitement of seeing the number of people coming to the theatre and watching the film. Yeah.
Okay, how much credit would you give to the screenplay of the film? The main villain of the film, you're not introducing him anywhere till the end. You're keeping him for the last 15 minutes maybe, which is something that has baffled many people as well.
Yeah.
How crucial is the screenplay of this film?
Yeah, because I feel it's very, very crucial and very important, because if I wouldn't have opened the Jija killing episode like that, the way it is now, it would have been a boring episode. Because if this story is told in a linear fashion, I don't know how much attention I would have, held for the entire film throughout the runtime. I feel it is the backbone, the story, the scenes, treatment, and the screenplay. I think screenplay played a major role. And coming to villain part, Bobby Deol ji ka, because everybody knew now, looking at the teaser and the trailer, that Bobby Deol is the villain. And I knew that they're going to wait. And from the beginning of, right after 15 minutes of the film, there's a tension of the villain throughout the film, but we don't see his face. So even after the interval, I could have opened him right after the interval, but I thought it is a very routine way to open the villain in the film. So I made the audience wait for almost 28-30 minutes. and then I just introduced like a like a face off, like a bride, or we call it, So I always wanted to show that
Right.
Ranbir is in a very in a very down phase, and whereas villain is having fun and getting ready for the third marriage. So I wanted to show the difference, and yeah, it worked. The waiting worked actually. You see villain after 2.5 hours of the film, and yeah, because I always felt because right from the beginning I have this thing in the mind that hero और villain दोनों शर्ट उतार के fight करने वाले हैं, on the runway. So when I imagined that image, I wanted somebody macho who's broader than Ranbir, who looks powerful than Ranbir. Then I thought like nobody else than Bobby Deol. So yeah.
Right. There are many, many, I think, extraordinary sequences if you're talking about the screenplay part of it. At the end, he's hugging Anil Kapoor sir, and the next shot is that he's in the arms of Shakti Kapoor saab and crying inconsolably. How do you conceptualize such scenes? They've had a certain impact on people.
Yeah, because I wanted to show that, we have shown throughout the film, we have seen hero reacting to everything which comes in his way, and we have shown him like a, we have picturized him in a very powerful way, and he's very strong in taking decisions, and so I thought like in the climax, because see, the whole point of him doing all this is to secure his father's life, and when he comes to know that he's going to die, I think I thought
Right.
इतना strong है पूरा कहानी में hero, and the climax में सब पकड़ के रोएगा like helpless boy, little boy. So I thought like that will create a lot of empathy and drama for the audience. I thought audience will feel bad for him for whatever mistakes, whatever things he has done. I feel they have this empathy towards Ranvir Singh Balbir. So that was and ऐसा लगता है कि इसको कोई है नहीं क्या, मतलब he's holding Mishra uncle and crying. He's not even holding his wife or his cousins, and the way he's holding and crying and says like Mishra uncle अब मैं क्या करूँ. So that made me feel sad while I was writing also, and equally more sad when we were shooting. Almost everybody had tears in their eyes while the scene was happening. So yeah.
There's so many sequences which have become so huge. Many films have been made as far as father-son relationship is concerned. Anil sir told me that I think he had requested you to maybe watch Mughal-e-Azam and films like Shakti, for example, which have had very strong father-son relationships. Like a sequence that Behra Nahi Hu Main, the way it has become, it is extraordinary. It is something that has baffled, I think, so many people. How do you get these ideas in the first place and maybe to have the vision that it can have, the sort of impact that it will finally have?
See, the thing is, it's a very simple scene actually. It's a simple scene of exchanging the roles. But in the teaser, in the trailer, you have seen a couple of times father slapping the son. And in the narrative also, you see Ranbir saying, क्या डरेंगे पापा, इतना बड़ा होने के बाद भी हाथ उठा रहे हो, हम दोनों एक घर में एक देश में नहीं रह सकते. That is a kind of planting which happened when he retaliates, when he shouts at the father. So मुझे लगा कि जैसा वो react कर रहा है, and even the voice, even the treatment of the scene is like he's walking and Anil is just looking at him helpless. That all adds up to the effect of when you're watching as an audience. So I feel it's a simple scene, but the placement of it, it worked a lot, and the performances are top notch. And and then in the teaser also, because in the teaser you have seen he's getting slapped, and in the trailer you see his son giving that kind of a arrogant reply, and so I thought that will work, and it worked the way I imagined even in the trailer. And because that's the only situation where he can say what he has to say, because he knew he's बोल तो रहा है father को कि पापा कुछ होने नहीं दूंगा आपको, don't worry, the science has improved a lot, I know so many doctors in US, but अंदर ही अंदर पता है because it's advanced stage, he knew that he's going to die, so he's just telling to himself that nothing will happen. But I think subconsciously he knew that. I think that's the reason he thought this is the situation, this is the only chance I have now in my life. I'll at least tell him what I've undergone only about one day. वही बोलता है कि पूरा लाइफ का तो कर नहीं सकते because आपके पास टाइम नहीं है. So I thought rather than just making a sad scene, I thought like, see, the angst is coming because of love, because of. So I thought like it should give the audience that it's a never-ending angst. It's not going to settle also. So it all helped for me. So I wanted to reach a point in the climax. For that, I was trying to play around with all these scenes and dialogues and all that, and which eventually everything fell in place. Yeah.
What fascinates me about you as a filmmaker is that you're someone who loves to surprise. Usually concept ये है कि अगर लड़का जो है वो अगर कहीं जा रहा है and it's a dangerous situation, so वो usually यही कहेगा, expected ये है that, and it's a nice thing to say कि अगर मुझे कुछ हो जाए तो तुम शादी कर लेना. यहाँ बोलता है कि अगर मुझे कुछ हो जाए तो तुम शादी मत करना. And it's not a Sandeep Vanga Reddy film. It is the Sandeep Vanga Reddy film. So you like to surprise. How important is it for you to not deliver something that people are expecting and to be unpredictable?
See, first thing is the character is like that, very unpredictable, and top of it, and while telling the story, see, हर बार नहीं मिलता है chance that you can be unpredictable in the storytelling. See, only a few times you get a chance, and there I think like we should make full use of it. And knowing her, because the kind of intrinsic details what they share in the relationship, only Ranbir Singh Balbir knew about Geetanjali, whether she can really cope up with a relationship with another man. Maybe he's saying that in that context, or maybe he doesn't want to see his kids seeing their mother with another man. The things can be, the reasons can be too many. But I thought like it's a great romantic line to say like, suffer in pain, but don't get married. So, yeah.
So there are many dialogues which are in English.
Yeah.
As I told you, happiness as a decision is one of the, I think, coolest lines that I have heard in a really long time. And there are many such lines. How important is it for you to use the language that you feel you want to use, instead of worrying about the fact that maybe English में ज़्यादा मत रखिए, simplify करिए चीज़ों को? How important is it for you to follow your own heart when it comes to making films?
Because I always, even during Arjun and Kabir and even in Animal, when the dialogue is written, I always try to say it. While typing, I always try to say it. Now Saurabh has written the dialogue. When we're sitting together, I always say that dialogue out, because I just check whether how the flow is. I make sure it is very colloquial, and I feel if you have to say it in Telugu or Hindi, happiness is a decision. I think it looks, I don't know how it sounds also, because it might sound कि अरे यार हिंदी में तो कह रहा है, but you will feel ये language शायद रणविजय सिंह बलबीर यूज नहीं करेगा. It has to sound very colloquial and real and natural. So, and English has become part of our life now. Happiness is a decision. मुझे कभी डर नहीं लगा कि माँ, बहुत कुछ लोगों को समझ में नहीं आएगा. कुछ लोगों को समझ में नहीं आया होगा, but they understood the context. भाव समझ में आया है, शब्द नहीं समझ में आया तो भी. But most of them understood. Happiness, decision, तो simple words है अपन. बहुत, it's बहुत लोग यूज करते हैं. Even people who can't write in English also, they understand those lines. And it's shorter also. कैसे बोलेंगे ये लाइन को हिंदी में? Happiness is a decision. I mean, say it, or how you say it in Hindi.
Happiness is a decision. खुशी एक फैसला है.
देखो, फैसला सुनते ही you went into 80s. I've never heard maybe फैसला. Faisal is a Urdu word, right?
Yeah.
It goes into a different zone.
Yeah.
Till then, how he is talking to the sister, se pehle ka scene, when you compare like that, so I always see like koi alag, same thing with the music also, same thing with the dialogue also. Nothing should pop out. So I thought, chalega, English chalega, that's the only, decision-making point. Yeah.
Right. So, Sandeep, आपने पहले you'd already announced it before itself that I'm not going to get toned down because of any sort of criticism, and my next film is going to be more violent, and I'll show what a violent film is all about. But were you in a way a bit surprised with the sort of criticism that has come from certain quarters?
I expected this. I expected this criticism.
Yeah.
मैं और रणबीर बात करते थे बहुत बार कि it is going to be like multiplied 10 times than Kabir Singh. Because Kabir Singh criticism was a surprise. If you remember, we spoke about this 4 years back. Because Arjun Reddy mein, it was like 1-2%. And Kabir, it was more. Kabir was a surprise for me. And I understood the way the critics and people who were criticizing the film, I understood their point of view. And it was, I never understood. Matlab, I know from where the energy is coming from. They only see particular few points about, in a film. They can't criticize or review a film in totality. And sorry to say, but they don't have any knowledge of the context, why it is being said. They don't understand the backstory. They only pick few points. That has happened in Kabir. I saw that. And I very well knew that it will be multiplied like 5-10 times. And it has happened. And still I'm not bothered. Because it's because they are not doing it in the right way. For example, Mr. Bharadwaj Rangan also, reviewed and critiqued the film. He said few points. I thought, okay, I didn't feel bad because he was talking about so many aspects in the filmmaking. As I told you last time, 4 years back, they only pick on few points. Even the last time when I said in Anupama Chopra's interview, I was really pissed. I was really angry that time, And even it was not a deliberate thing that I wanted to tell, because I was almost, we're finishing the interview and she said, I hope, next film will not, it will generate less criticism. Then I had to say that, no, it will be more, because if you say a love story is a violent film, then I knew that I'm going to make a violent film. And so I said, you'll see what a violent film will be. And so when you challenge and when you live up to the expectations, they'll hate you more. That's what is happening now. So, yeah.
Right. So I was watching a discussion, and Mr. Sanjay Hegde is a lawyer, an advocate, senior advocate. So he was basically responding to a comment about gaze in Animal and the morality aspect. So he said that gaze and morality, basically these are, they have no business as far as what a filmmaker wants to express himself. There's no legal standing, first of all, in that. And it's something which is very, very relative as far as gaze and morality is concerned. Do you find at times that maybe when a certain people, they run out of arguments, they say certain things just to be relevant in a way?
Yeah, you see, because what is more fascinating and amusing for me now is I expected exactly how much they're going to talk about this film. And the result is exactly the way I thought, way I imagined. So, in a way, I understood, their mental status and their IQ. So, yeah. And morality and gaze, like, अगर वो सोचते रहेंगे तो कैसे आगे बढ़ेंगे कहानी बोलते हुए? No, you can't go ahead also in the story. What will you, if the morality comes into picture, then you can't make this film. Simple. But आर्ट का क्वालिटी होता है कि वो अपसेट करता है लोगों को एंड प्रोवोक करता है, तो फिर फिल्म करना बंद कर देना चाहिए. अगर मॉरलिटी आता है तो कार्टून शोज करना चाहिए बच्चों के लिए. सो एंड इट इज क्लियरली सेड इट्स ए रेटेड फिल्म. इट्स over and above 18 years. So and people are saying like बच्चे रोते हुए बाहर आ रहे हैं theater से. Girls are feeling insecure. High school girls. The high school girls are not supposed to go and watch this film. Even the boys. So
right. In fact, Ramu sir said one thing that if that would have been the case, then after Hum Aapke Hain Kaun, there should have been more emphasis on joint families, which has not really been the case.
Yeah, when we different like that, saying, nobody became gangsters after, seeing Shiva or Satya, they take it in a very funny way. I don't know why only the responsibility factor comes only watching the film. There's so many things which are in real happening in the society. For that, nobody reacts. Only for the film they react, which is very funny. I never understood this phenomenon. And what I figured out is like, अगर चलो कोई क्रिटिसाइज कर रहा है फिल्म को, उसको कुछ मिल रहा नहीं, बट ही वांट्स टू वॉइस आउट. फॉर एग्जांपल अगर ये टेरेस पे आके 50 लोगों को बुला के बोल रहा है चिल्ला चिल्ला के, अभी बॉम्बे में बाकी सब बिल्डिंग में से बैल्कनी में से लोग आके सुन रहे हैं, एक आदमी बोल रहा है माइक पे कि तुम लोग एनिमल मत देखो, ये पागल पिक्चर है. एटलीस्ट आई विल रूट फॉर हिम, आई विल गो एंड शेक हैंड. बट क्या यार, क्या बात है, तो क्या गट्स है, बिकॉज उसको कुछ मिलता नहीं उसमें. बट ये लोग यूट्यूब में वीडियो बनाते हैं ना, उन लोग को पैसा भी आता है उसमें से. सो यू आर मेकिंग मनी, फेम, नेम, क्रिटिसाइजिंग माई फिल्म, लेट्स देन go ahead. That's what happened with most of the critiques during Kabir Singh. They shot to fame by criticizing Kabir Singh. So now they are enjoying the. Yeah.
Do you also find it a bit interesting that a few of these people who tend to have certain opinions, they're also struggling actors or maybe directors or maybe they're related to filmmakers. Do you find that maybe it is a bit unethical for people if they are also pursuing certain the same field, to just literally try and harm the film?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, how should I put it? Like, I don't want to say, but since you asked, Anupama Chopra was messaging me constantly that she wants an interview. Like, I have 6-7 messages continuously. We should meet. And she messaged me the 2 दिन release से पहले तक. And after the release, like, you see a different color. So I said, like, okay, I mean, what to do? I mean, because what I see is like there's a clear hatred towards the filmmaker than the film, which is what actually is surprising me. And when last time when I went and sat with her, I was, interview चल रहा है, 1-2 comments पढ़ा नीचे में, लोग बोल रहे कि ये बहुत prepare होके आया director. He's talking about her husband's film. That's not the fact, because I am a fan of Faridoon Chopra, because when you see Arjun Reddy, I use that song, Tumse Milke. That's a song from Parinda. So, and I didn't say about Sanju because, her husband is a producer of the film. So, but, अभी क्या सफाई देंगे इसके बारे में अभी? Yeah.
Right. But when you read a few of the reviews and you see certain videos, does it upset you?
See, frankly speaking, if it is genuinely, that's what I'm seeing. If it genuinely comes, like, you feel like you don't need this so much of violence, somebody says, you don't need to shoot 300 people. You could have done it in 100 people also. Then I might understand. Maybe हो सकता था 100 लोगों से भी. But when you attack the intention of the filmmaker only, then it becomes bizarre. Because what I feel is, आप लोग तो जो भी है, कोई रिव्यू करेगा फिल्म के बारे में, एकदम मतलब लेफ्ट राइट सेंटर, यू क्रिटिसाइज द फिल्म in the worst way, and after 3-4 days or maybe a week, you call the filmmaker and call him for the round table. I said, like, why you want me to go and sit at your show? You never believed in my film and my vision. See, for example, Rajeev Masand called me after he criticized my film, after I said that, whatever I said in Anupama Chopra's interview. He called me and said, like, Mr. Vanga, I would like you to join the round table. I said, like, dude, you never liked my film, you hated my film, and you hated my guts. You criticized it so badly, and if I come and sit in your show, what are you going to talk? I said, like, your relationship, like, people who criticize my films at this level, for them, the relationship between me and you is from the screen to the seat. You go and watch my next film and do another video, and I'll react to another video, but I'm not going to come and sit in your show. So, ये चीज़ लोगों को नहीं पता है कि how these things, at what level they operate. So, but I figured out that he gave up, reviewing and criticizing films now. So, yeah.
Right. So, Sandeep, a senior trade analyst mentioned in his reviews that at least 100 crores will be added to the film's collections because of the way the film is being criticized. I also heard a few statements in the sense that Sandeep Sandeep knows that what is it that is going to just get the audience into theaters, and maybe because of that he's putting these scenes. I've known you for quite some time, and I personally I find you to be extremely, I think, simple person. And I don't think you're that calculative, maybe to just put certain scenes so that can possibly be bringing to the theaters. You're in a way just going away from the family audience. You're using English at many times. Maybe I don't think that getting the audience at any cost is something that you're really looking at. Do you find it a bit disrespectful when a filmmaker's intentions are doubted?
The number has multiplied now. कबीर के टाइम में 20 लोग थे, अभी 50 हो गए. भी कल 100 हो जाएंगे, बट फर्क नहीं पड़ता बिकॉज लाखों लोगों को अच्छा लग रहा है मेरा काम, मेरा फिल्म. सो एंड मैं ये 50-20 लोगों के लिए उसको उन लोगों को टिकल करने के लिए आई डोंट थिंक सो आई एवर डू दैट ever in my life and future. Maybe they felt that the last gesture what the old Ranbir Kapoor does, they thought it was giving it back to the critics, because Anupama Chopra herself felt that Ranbir was doing to the critics, but my intention was not that. I thought like I'll just end the film with attitude because I want audience to think and root for part 2, Animal Park. So that's the intention, but they took it in another way, because the moment he does the gesture, the next shot is my name comes on screen. So they thought I was just giving back to them. I don't do that. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Now the interesting part is that someone in Dallas, a girl in Dallas, she told me that if you interview Sandeep, so please just tell him that why is it that people are not talking about the sequence of Karwa Chauth when Rashmika gives it back to Ranbir and he just listens. And it's a very strong, I think Rashmika has been presented very, very strongly as well. So do you, as you mentioned in the beginning as well, that selectively certain things are picked up,
Yeah.
and certain things they are not said, and maybe I think the film should be looked in entirety and in a proper context.
Yeah, because it is out of their capacity. Trust me, I'm telling you, because I've seen reviewing other films also, the way they talk. I feel like all these guys, they should go to China. In China, what's the most happening thing in China? The English tuition. They're good with English, so they should go and tutor in English, because other than that, every time you see their reviews, you find new English words. Other than that, you don't find anything else. Because even Kabir also, they did that. They were very selective in Kabir slapped. They never spoke about Preeti slapped back. Preeti was the first person to slap. They never said about that. I don't know how that, even today in an Animal, they say the hero of the film made the girl to lick his shoe. वो तो हुआ ही नहीं. जो हुआ ही नहीं, क्यों बता रहे हो रिव्यू में? And it's a torture for 3.5 hours. If you want to go watch, but I would suggest you not to go. How did you say that? Such a shame. Seriously, such a shameful thing to say that, How can you do that? Why you are saying to the audience, because nobody cares that, but still, there will be few people, they think like, okay, let's not watch this film. And this negative thing is not going to help me. It is going to hamper the film for sure. कुछ तो परसेंटेज तो होगा ना. ऐसा नहीं होगा कि नेगेटिव वजह से भर के आ रहे पब्लिक. You think because of Rajeev Masand and Anupama Chopra and that त्यागी girl, ये लोगों के रिव्यू के वजह से मेरे को फर्स्ट डे ओपनिंग मिला. It's because of the craft. Nobody speaks about the craft. Nobody speaks about editing, sound design, nothing, because they're literally illiterate and uneducated when it comes to films. They have no sense of to criticize a film or a review a film. They only see the sensitive part of it and they speak, and then done, dude. And this is what to say, and if at all you want to sit with them and talk face to face, also they don't have the guts to do that. They beat around the bush and talk some nonsense and the show is over. So, yeah. So, I think I've drifted from your question. Was I answering the right answer to your question? I think...
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. And what is interesting that there are some people who are talking about the film and they have not seen the film.
Exactly. Last time, I'll tell you one thing.
Do you find it irresponsible if you've not seen the film? Why are you talking about it?
It is very irresponsible. During Kabir Singh, I'll tell you, after you interviewed me that next day, because that time this fully Bombay was packed with water. I mean, there's fully rains, if you remember. I was supposed to go back to Hyderabad because the flights were not functioning, so I was stuck in Bombay. Then I got a call from NDTV saying that you need to come and sit in the panel. So I said like, okay, I'll come. So I sat in the car. I was going. They're calling me. Are you coming? Are you late? Then I said like, yeah, I'm coming. And then I asked, who are the people who are there so that I know. Then they mentioned a few names and I asked them, 4 लोग या 5 लोग थे. As in किसी ने देखा उसमें एक औरत ने अर्जुन रेड्डी देखा, कबीर सिंह ने देखा, but at least you know what the film is. और बाकी 3 लोगों को पता ही नहीं फिल्म क्या है. But they're sitting and talking a lot. They spoke for 1.5 hour in the prime time in NDTV. And they were showing my pictures in the background, जैसे कि कुछ crime किया मैंने. 8 director speaks like that. See the audacity of the director and all that nonsense. It was... And what I said in Anupama Chopra's show is I said, no, it's like, it's a context. I'm saying like if you don't have the sincerity in expressing yourself, that's the whole point. And I said it applies with both. But the only, मैं 2 बार बोला था वो एक ही point. But second time when I said, I didn't say vice versa. So they used it very selectively. And I quoted it like as though, I said something very, it's so stupid. I'm not feeling bad, but I'm feeling like, how can they do this? Like what is this? I never understood. And they have, one thing I understood now, almost 5 years in Bombay, there's a gang. They only like one particular kind of films. They praise that particular filmmaker's films and other filmmakers' films are done to death. During Arjun Reddy also, there is a culture of giving money to the critics and reviewers or whatever, I never did that. I'll never do that.
Yeah.
If you notice in my entire life, in my 3 films, I never tweeted or, pasted the review on my Facebook wall or Insta or Twitter. I never do that. The first time I did was RGV's because I respect that man and I'm a big fan of his work and I truly believe how much he has contributed for Indian cinema. Nobody has done that and उनका review मेरे लिए बहुत बड़ा चीज़ है तो इसलिए मैंने tweet किया. But I never do that. So maybe, I'm not in the good books of them. That's why they talk nonsense. But इतना सब कुछ last time बोलने के बाद भी they don't even try to analyze the film. They only talk about 2-3 things, man. Such a illiterate people these people are. So what I figured out is after Animal now, I know that this is going to be there till how many ever films I make, they are going to be there. बोला ठीक है. अभी और ज़्यादा होगा स्पिरिट के लिए. अभी एनिमल पार्क के लिए तो मर जाएंगे पिक्चर देख के. I don't even they dare to criticize Animal Park. So I'm not saying that now I'll do it more because the content is like that. Yeah.
Okay, and something about your association with Bhushan ji. You guys are doing more films together. How important is to have a courageous producer backing you up?
Because more than courageous producer, obviously is a Betsy producer, but majorly my brother is also part of the this thing. So I don't have any interference. And I don't have somebody coming and telling me why you're going there, how many days you're going to shoot, or what is this music, or why you're taking that particular actor. Nothing. I'm having the comfort the way I shot Arjun Reddy when my brother produced. It's the same thing. It's a lot more money involved. But other than that, it's trust and comfort and understanding. So what else you want, like this is other kya chahiye. So I thought, so that's the reason like we're doing multiple films now.
Extraordinary music score. I think I think Arjun Reddy is one of the songs that I think it's one of the finest songs that I've heard in the longest period of time, and the way it has been picturized, I think it is artistic. The way it's extraordinary. I think it's totally amazing. And using an Iranian song for Bobby's anthem, I'm sure that you must have curated that. Yeah. Even Arjun Reddy, Manan told me that how you guys collaborated together. Other songs as well. I think you have an amazing sense for romance as well. Background score too is outstanding. How crucial is music for you?
See, as I told you in one of the interviews also, that I can't imagine without an atmospheric sound or a foley or a sound effect or a music. Something has to be there for me to figure out what I'm writing. I think that is the reason for me, it takes time for me to finish a script, because I can't go ahead if I don't know what kind of music I'm playing. Because when the axe fight is happening, I knew the cousins were standing back. I wanted a song, and मैं कभी life में lip sync song किया ही नहीं. So I wanted a song, a full rageful, courageous song. That too because the guys are from Pin. I wanted in Punjabi, and I know this film is made in other languages also now. So I was thinking, when there's a lip sync, I can't dub into Telugu, Tamil, Malayalam, Kannada. I was searching for an old folk song, and we found Babaji's song in the YouTube. It had 350 views. Can you believe? 350 views, and it is there on the YouTube from past 5 years. Same song, same tune. And Manan has took it to another level, like using beats and using piano in between and all that. But the tune and the lyric is there from 5 years. Nobody noticed the song. I thought, like, what a gem of a song this is. Then finally I said that I need this song, and we got hold of the man who was somewhere in Canada. He flew back to Chandigarh. I met him in Delhi. He came to Delhi from Chandigarh. I told him, sir, I need your song and all that. So he graciously removed from the YouTube, and we added some music, and that's it. Even the Iranian song also. Whenever I write a story, I have a folder for everything, like Arjun Reddy mood material, animal mood material, spirit mood material. I collect some kind of a mood material for me, because you need to be self-motivated on your own story. Your story should give you the kick from the day one till the release of the film. Through the process of these 2 years or 3 years or 4 years, whatever time you're in the film, in the story, that has to motivate you so that you're pursuing the making of the film. So for that, you need great visuals. You have to think about who is playing this character, collect the actors' photographs. So I do a lot of research on that. So I found this music somewhere on the YouTube, Iranian song. The moment I heard the song, I just thought, this is a song for the introducing a villain. I don't know why I felt. The moment I heard, I just imagined Bobby Deol. So Bobby Deol सर को मिलने से पहले ये गाना मेरे collection में था. And suddenly one day I visited in the between the shoot. Then I was figuring out what was that song. And then I forgot. अरे कहाँ था वो song? Then I opened my laptop. Then I saw it scrolled up somewhere. It is there. Then I removed it. Then now, while shooting also we are playing on the speaker. Then उसको थोड़ा vocals add करके we have modified little to, the sound was a little low because it's a YouTube quality, so we upped it little up. So that's how that song came. And even the Marathi song, I was going to Goa from Bombay. We were driving from Bombay to Goa, and Sholapur पहुंचते radio I was playing radio in the car, so मेरे को Marathi song सुनाई दिया guiding when we were driving. So that caught my attention. It has some kind of a tune, some kind of a beat, which was the moment I saw, even same thing, like it's a first instinct with the music. I thought like ये action episode में सही रहेगा. And I always imagined Freddy character as a Marathi character. I don't know why I imagined as a Marathi character. So this is a Marathi song. It's going well with it. So I figured out it's Ajay Atul's music, and some music company, I think Z has it, and Sony or Z. And we got the permission and we used it. And even the starting Roja theme, in Arjun Reddy audio function, the Theory band was playing some music when the crowd is coming and sitting, filling the auditorium. So I looked at them, they're too good with the work. So I remember they played some Rahman's tracks. I said, like, great. I mean, like, मजा आया सुन के. ऐसा नहीं लगा कि किसी ने रहमान का ट्यून को कॉपी कर रहा है. ऐसा लगा एनहांस कर रहा है म्यूजिक को. Then I saw another music of them in the YouTube. Then I called them. So I know them since Arjun Reddy time. So I said, like, dude, you come and play. You also act in the scene. And I want to use that piece, because in that, when Ranbir comes and dances in the first scene, Theory band was actually playing the music, the Chinni Chinni Asha. So like that, like even for Arjun also, I had few ideas about how the music has to be. So maybe I'm very particular about what music I want to use in particular scene. So that's why it is very hard hitting. Yeah.
No, absolutely. Because, and you know, the best part is many a times in films, certain sort of music is used, certain sort of dialogues are used to cater to certain cultures and regions, so that you can get certain amount of audience from that particular region. But knowing you and the honesty that you have, I'm very sure about the fact that you are more criterion for selection is that you like something rather than thinking कि यार ये इसमें मराठी audience में मिल जाएगा, इसमें पंजाबी audience मिल जाएगा.
Yeah.
I don't think, having known you for some time, that honesty is something that is beautiful as far as you're concerned. Arjun Valley, agar, if we're talking about the picturization, that's the first communication. The axe communication was the first communication of Animal that came out of Ranbir.
Yes, and the pre-teaser.
And that was very, very powerful.
Yes.
Very powerful. So
Yeah.
how did you conceptualize that entire sequence? Because song is one part of it, but the entire mood, the way it has been captured, I feel it's an artistic piece in itself.
Yeah, because I see, I wanted it to be a heavy action episode in the interval, because I wanted the hero to be wounded and pierced with bullets and axe marks. So for that to happen, I thought like it has to have some particular length. And Supreme Sundar Master composed the entire fight. So I told him like we'll dissect like wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. And wave 1 was a Marathi song, and there's a break where they're doing the first aid, and suddenly you see these people come with the skull caps. So I thought there's a dialogue, there is a little kind of a scene in between, there's a break, there's a music. I thought that 18-19 minutes will be fully, audience. I was very sure that I can hook the audience without getting bored, and that's what happened. I mean, it's purely what is required for the film, and it's I think 1 hour 47 minutes first half, and so many of them said that ऐसा लगा हमको कि इतना जल्दी हो गया first half. I think that's the biggest compliment. I mean, they did find the
Absolutely.
time. And when it is 3 hours 21 minutes, like एक लगता है ना कि ठीक है, you are doing the film with a kind of madness, but dude, imagine it's 3 hours, including the newsreel and all that, Akshay Kumar's ad and everything. It's 3:23. The runtime is 3:23, so yeah.
Right. Anil Kapoor sir told me that he thinks Ranbir Kapoor is tall Raj Kapoor. How do you look at his devotion to his craft? He can put on weight, he can lose weight, he can look like a teenager, he can look like a 40-year-old. He can grow hair, he can just cut hair. He can do love making scenes without any inhibitions,
Yeah.
without the fear of being judged. He can mouth dialogues, believing in the vision of his director and not worrying about how he can possibly be judged. How do you look at this particular devotion of an actor?
I feel his focus and attention is at another level. Is a very effort, and I मुझे ऐसा कभी लगा भी नहीं कि he's doing a lot of processing to get into the character. I felt that process was very, very effortless, and even the transformation was very effortless. So he was very keen. Sometimes, he said, like, Sandeep, I need another 15 days. The way you want me to look in the note scene, I think we need 15 days more. So he was very particular in everything. He's like to simplify it, उनका जो passion है, उनका जो interest है film में, and I think that is the only answer. And the one best quality is like he'll never judge you saying, I don't think so, this scene should be like this, or this dialogue should be written that way. You'll never hear saying, I don't think so. It's always, I understood that it's always, whenever I said anything to him, he'll think why he's saying that. Why Sandeep is saying this, and why Ranvijay thinks Balbir should say this dialogue. He was always with the character. He was not judging the film or the character or the dialogue from an outside perspective. वो कोई दूसरा अलग अलग एंगल पर्सपेक्टिव लेके आता ही नहीं. So he's always into the character with the film, with the filmmaker. I think that is the reason this film is possible. If a personal agenda of an actor comes into picture, ये film ऐसा नहीं बनते. And when I narrated a line, like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, उसके बाद, after 7-8 months, I narrated like 3.5 hour story. So when I narrated the line, when he said yes, unknowingly, when I was sitting on the treatment and the scenes, the story customized हो गया रणबीर कपूर के लिए. ऐसा नहीं कि कहानी लिख के मैंने एक्टर को चुना है. ऐसा लगा मुझे कि I was just writing for him. More than without imagining the face of the actor, I didn't write because I know that he's doing the film. So if you want to stop the process also, he'll come into your mind because you know that he's going to do it eventually. So that's a very different process which has happened for this film. So, yeah. Because when I was writing Arjun Reddy, I didn't know that Vijay will do.
Okay. Now, Ramu sir told me that in the last 110 years of Indian cinema, since Raja Harish Chandra, he's not seen such an amazing performance the way Ranbir Kapoor has, inhibition-less performance and extraordinary performance. Do you concur with them? How do you respond to? Because I think it's a huge statement to make.
Yeah, मुझे अच्छा लग रहा है सुनने में. I want to believe that. But since it's my film, if I say that, you'll feel अरे ठीक है तुम्हारा film है तुम इसलिए ऐसा बोल रहे हो. But I genuinely feel that every frame, every bit, every scene, every shot, he was in the character. He didn't drift at all. I didn't see he was away from the character. Right from the school scene, when he is holding the rifle and going into the classroom, from that scene till the old man scene, he was with the character. Even the way he played the butcher, even that was very outstanding. The way he didn't take much time also to transform. It's like I spoke to him. I thought like Ranbir, I think we should have this kind of hairstyle. We should have a little denture, and we'll have a little spots. The skin will be like little pinkish skin. थोड़ा बहुत डिस्कस किया and look test किया, and next day we were on the set. ऐसा इतना simple हो गया. And the way he was walking also, like, when you have the shot with the knives when he's walking, you will not guess that he is Ranbir Kapoor. The way he was walking, the walking style is completely different. So he just got into it just like that within 2 days. आज डिस्कस किया, कल लुक टेस्ट हुआ, परसों शूटिंग हुआ. It's like that. Yeah.
How do you look at the performance of Rashmika?
See, what I figured out is when she was dubbing in Telugu and Kannada, I figured out somehow she's more comfortable in Hindi now. And I thought while we're shooting, she'll take a lot of time to get the lines. But she got it, she just got it like that when we were changing the lines also on set. Sometimes I change lines on set. So, and I think I strongly believe that she understood Geetanjali character. Because the way she was emoting, she behaved literally like a wife who was, in support with the alpha man, knowing him from the school days. That was very much tangible and visible. That's what I felt when I was making the film. I don't know, even I didn't ask her how did you prepare and all, but I strongly believe that she believed in Ranvijay Singh Balbir, not as a character, as a Rashmika Mandana also. I felt she understood Ranvijay Singh Balbir. That's the reason I thought like the performance was really good, because कितना भी अपन कैरेक्टर को कितना भी अच्छा लिखने के बाद भी ना, any actor when they are performing, उनका side कुछ आता है. Little of their character and little of the character which the writer-director writes, उसका amalgamation ही एक नया चीज लाता है स्क्रीन पे. So when I think like that, yeah, she got it right. Yeah, ऐसा नहीं लगा मुझे कभी कि साउथ इंडियन एक्टर को लेके आके हिंदी फिल्म में मैं कास्ट किया, ऐसा ऑड मैन आउट लगा, ऐसा कुछ लगा नहीं. They were looking very good together. I mean, it's a fresh pairing, Yeah.
No, I think it also stems from the director as well, because I think the way you have handle the entire Punjabi element in the film is something. It is so seamless, because many times there tends to be this entire I think situation where maybe the South Indians may not understand the nuances of say North Indians or say Punjabis, but here it is spot on. It is
Yeah.
very, very seamless, which is brilliant.
Yeah.
Tripti Dimri came as a complete surprise, has become the latest national crush. How do you respond to Tripti's extraordinary response?
Yeah, because see, we wantedly didn't use the song in the promotion. Matlab, trailer maybe we just used for one shot. So in the story also, she'll come at a point where nobody expects another new character to come. There's another new love story which shuru hua hai film mein, which almost we are reaching the climax. So there are little odd facts that also help to the entry of the character. And she was also a very, very spontaneous actor. For example, if she has prepared for some X emotion, and if you come in, change right away in front of a camera in between the takes, that I don't want this, I want completely diagonally opposite of what you're doing, and she would shift like that. That she did it like a pro. I mean, that quality actually was, which I never thought. I thought like now both waqt legi. I mean, like we have to shoot a longer period, but it just happened like that. So things like that really, helped the character also, and we could complete the shoot on time also. And it's a lengthy dialogue when she confesses, in the pre-climax to Ranbir that she's a woman. So that's a long dialogue, and most of the time I shot on a single shot. I was changing the frame and lens, and I was always taking the entire in a single shot. And I was shifting in the edit, but when I was shooting, I wanted in one flow, because it will help the edit when you shift to other shot also, because it's a lot of emotion. She's crying and emoting, so it was brilliant. Yeah.
Right. And lots and lots of, I think, expectations from Animal Park. If it releases tomorrow, it'll become like a bigger hit than maybe Animal. Too many questions. When are you starting Animal Park?
I'll start after I finish Spirit. So yeah, I thought like it's better to give that kind of a gap, and probably I'll start in end of 26 or mid of 26, and we'll see. Yeah.
2026.
Yes,
You're also
yes.
having a film with Allu Arjun, I believe.
Yeah, but nothing is concrete as of now, but we are mutually very much interested in working with each other. So yeah, that's there, but it will take time, little time. Yeah. Yeah.